Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the channel World of Wrestling, here today to discuss about Impact Wrestling August 5th, 2021's episode review. Personally, this shouldn't even be called Impact Wrestling for this episode. It should have been Boring Wrestling for August 5th, 2021. This show completely bored the shit out of me. I almost turned off the fucking Impact Wrestling Plus app and moved on with my life for the rest of the day because this show sucked. But I went ahead and stuck through to give you guys this review. I am definitely uploading a video August 14th. Resurgence with New Japan Wrestling. I have a subscription back with New Japan Wrestling, so I will be uploading any major events that take place for like pay-per-view like quality shows, and I will be doing reviews on those all the time throughout the entire year and until some point where I can't keep the subscription because either because of financial reasons or what have you. Since I have a lot of subscriptions. Anywho, let's go over the Impact Wrestling episode for August 5th. The first match on the card was Chris Bay defeating Juice Robinson in a decent opener. I actually liked this match. This was a really good start to the show. As the show went on, though, it got really, really boring. I couldn't believe what I saw, but Chris Bay actually was gifted a Bullet Club t-shirt by Jay White for accomplishing his goal and beating Juice Robinson in a one-on-one match. Great matchup overall between those two. Backstage, we had the Elite. Don Callis says you can take any three wrestlers in the world and the same result will go down. Kenny asks Gia what she thinks is going to happen. Give them anybody you want. Impact is looking for anyone to be their white knight to save the day. Enter Violent, and then all of a sudden, Violent by Design enters into the picture, and they are reenacting their rematch clause for the tag team titles against the Good Brothers at Emergence, which takes place on August 20th. That pay-per-view, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be able to review that. There's a lot of content. I got to also review freaking, holy shit. I got Rampage for the 20th, which I am most definitely reviewing. Fuck SmackDown. I may not even do a SmackDown show review. That's the go-home show for SummerSlam. And then you got Emergence, you got SummerSlam, and we got fucking Jesus Christ. And the very last takeover show I'm ever going to review on this channel. It's the season finale, the series finale, whatever way you want to call it. It's done. I'm done with NXT. I'm not even watching this show tonight. I don't give a fuck. After I'm done reviewing this, I'm going ahead and I'm going to watch some good old New Japan Wrestling and get some entertainment out of my wrestling addiction and get that filled with New Japan Wrestling instead of any bullshit from WWE. But yeah, Violent by Design asked for a rematch against the Good Brothers for the tag team titles at Emergence. This match is going to take place, but later on in the show we find out that Rich Swann and Willie Mack are challenging for the tag titles as well, making it a three-way matchup. This is kind of silly. Honestly, I think the two should actually compete for a number one contenders match to determine the number one contender for the tag team titles. Unfortunately, that's not what they're doing, which I think kind of sucks. I think it would have been better for a number one contenders match, put a little bit more pressure for Violent by Design to actually win this matchup, or they get no rematch, which I think would have been a lot better. And I think Violin by Design should have won the match if they were to do it. So that's just how I felt about it. Back from the break, they actually had Fire and Flava, which they're looking like they're pretty much done after the match they had. Fire and Flava talk about their rematch against Jordan Grace and Rachel Erling. Kara Hogan says after Tasha Steelz took the L with Flava in the Impact Homecoming tournament, she now knows what a good partner is. Tasha snidely agrees. The lights go out, and when they come back on, Drama King Matthew Bawalt, I forgot how to pronounce, Renwalt, Renwalt. Tonight he shares his spotlight as the homecoming king with his homecoming queen, the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo. Out comes the champ. She pretty much goes over her entire accolades of what she's done in the last year or so in Impact Wrestling. Out of nowhere, Mickie James decides to make her presence on the show and interfere in the Purrazzo's spotlight. Out of nowhere, we are issued a challenge for the Impact Women's Championship with Deonna Purrazzo defending it at Empower on August 28th, I believe they said, which would be the Saturday after SummerSlam. And she will be defending that title, though, against Melina, who used to be with John Morrison and Joey Mercury in their tag team that they used to have in WWE. She has been around in NWA for a while now, last year or two, but was kind of absent in professional wrestling for a long while. I didn't know much about her after she left WWE at that point. So she's getting a shot for the Impact Women's Championship. I don't know what that's going to mean outside she's going to take an L against Deonna Purrazzo, because I don't see Melina winning the championship and appearing on a weekly basis as the Impact Women's Champ. So more than likely that is the case. So, I mean, it was nothing special. I didn't think much of it. I mean, seeing Melina in an Impact Wrestling ring was kind of different. But she will be competing at Empower New Japan, NWA's event for Empower for women only tournament, and she's going to defend that title during that show. The next match after that was Jake Something versus Daivari versus Rohit Raju and Trey Miguel in a number one contenders fatal four-way match for the X Division title. The winner of this match was Jake Something, and a very impressive win by him. All four men were pretty decent in this matchup, but what does it mean? I mean, Jake Something is competing for an X Division title. I was kind of figuring Trey Miguel to win this. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Later on the show, though, Daivari issued a challenge to Josh Alexander for his X Division title next week before Emergence, and he granted his wish. He said that Daivari said he will go talk to Scott D'Amore about this to confirm that he's okay with doing it, so it's guaranteed, and there's no change of plans or anything. And that's pretty much it. They never actually go to Scott D'Amore showing Daivari talking to him, so you're either assuming that's taking place or it's not. Who the fuck knows? Who really cares? Daivari challenging for an X Division championship? What does he do that's so X Division-like wrestling? Especially Josh Alexander. He's a good wrestler, but he's not X Division performer. I mean, he doesn't do high-flying maneuvers. He's not a cruiserweight. Trey Miguel, out of everybody else, should be the fucking X Division champion, or Chris Bay. Not these other guys that they've been fucking putting in for this X Division championship. It makes no sense whatsoever. Pretty fucking stupid. Next, following that was Fire and Flava versus Rachel Erling and Jordan Grace. I don't know if you guys remember, but Jordan Grace and Rachel Erling were having some issues personally between each other. Jazz was able to get them to pull together and get their team back on track. I kind of think that they should have went the other route and make Jordan Grace turn on Rachel Erling. I think it would have been a lot cooler to see her playing a heel role. I mean, there's still a possibility they could do that anyway. Not saying that that's not possible, but bottom line, it's really not all that entertaining seeing her as a face. She's been playing the face role for quite a while. Maybe it's time for a change and see what she can do as a heel. Personally, I think her face run has gotten kind of stale. But yeah, Jordan Grace and Rachel Erling win this match. Kiera Hogan takes the L and the pinfall for their team. Tasha Steelz is pretty upset what happened and didn't like the fact that they lost. She didn't really do anything. She didn't attack her partner, but someone else showed up after the match was over. That someone was Savannah Evans, who attacks Kiera Hogan. And Tasha Steelz just watches on, and that's pretty much it. Next, we have Frankie Kazarian interviewed backstage. What sparked his return to Impact Wrestling? Well, it has everything to do with the Elite, pretty much. Impact Wrestling is the house that he built, along with many other talents who helped him build it as well. He runs down a list of familiar names. He's here for vengeance, and he will get it. Frankie will trust Tommy Dreamer's judgment when it comes to Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards. Tonight is about one thing, ripping out the heart of the Elite, which I'm assuming that would be Kenny Omega, because he is pretty much the heart of the Elite. If he wasn't there, I mean, wouldn't fucking matter. I already went over the Violent by Design segment with Scott D'Amore, and that it's now going to be a triple threat match, so I'm not going to go over that again. Match number 4 was Steve Macklin versus JC. This was nothing much but a squash match. Nothing important here took place. Petey Williams at the end of the match did show up and attacks Macklin, and Macklin goes ahead and runs away after he's suplexed. Next segment was a really fucking dumb. Oh god, this is so fucking stupid. Tennille Dashwood is sitting there, has a segment with this guy Caleb with a K, and they're sitting there cutting a segment of Tennille Dashwood's own personal TV show that takes place in backstage. And the whole purpose of this situation is her sitting there having a guest come on the show to ask her questions instead of her asking them questions. And yeah, it's fucking cringeworthy, very cringing, very annoying, very stupid, and a big wad of wasted time. Taylor Wilde issued a challenge earlier in the show, which I think I skipped over by accident. She requested a one-on-one match for Tennille Dashwood next week on Impact Wrestling. And Scott D'Amore came on there, but she first introduced a fucking doctor. Why a doctor? What the fuck's she introducing a doctor to ask her questions? Questions about what? Is she ovulating? Is she pregnant? I mean, like, what the fuck is this shit? There's your rant right there, man. What the fuck was this? This is fucking stupid as hell. God almighty, what dumb bullshit. I mean, has WWE poisoned the minds of all creators and promoters of pro wrestling and different promotions? I mean, holy fucking shit, man. Outside of AEW, I'm like saying to myself, what the fuck am I watching? Jesus Christ. But anyway, Scott D'Amore excuses the doctor out of there. She asked the doctor, though, to ask Caleb with a K to ask him how his neck was doing. And he says, oh, my neck, it really hurts. And he's got a fucking neck brace on with a fucking bow tie attached to it. It looked fucking ridiculous, man. Like, what the hell am I watching? What the fuck was this? God, this was like levels of WWE bullshit. Holy fuck. I went ahead and I wanted to review other promotions so I could forget the horrible booking and creative ideas that WWE book, and it seems to carry over in Impact Wrestling. Come on, people. Get your fucking shit straight. Make this wrestling, not a fucking three-ring circus of mentally retarded characters. Jesus Christ. So Scott D'Amore comes on the air. He excuses the doctor. Doctor leaves, kind of saying to himself, what the fuck am I doing here? Apparently she must have paid him off to come there. Probably took $100 bill and said, oh, thanks. I was on there for less than 2 minutes. So Scott D'Amore sits down. He says, look, there was some investigations that prevented her from coming over to the... I think she's a Canadian, I believe, or maybe not. There's just some kind of issue going on, I think, with Tennille Dashwood's traveling thing, travel card or whatever, the thing that your passport, and she might have a problem with her passport possibly. So Scott D'Amore said, okay, so there's a situation that's been a rumor going around that you have some kind of problem with your passport. Traveling issues might be a problem, and we may have to investigate it unless, and Taylor Wilde said that if you decide to have the match next week, the charges will be dropped, everything will be Jake, you'll be fine. She goes ahead and she says, yeah, okay, I'll do it. And that was pretty much the end of the segment, with a little bit more cringe-worthy bullshit that took place on this just before it closed. Thank God it did. I thought it was going to take forever for them to get that fucking damn thing done. Next segment, Chris Sabin cut a terrible promo. Probably one of the worst promos I've ever seen him cut in his career. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there has been something that's worse than this. But my God, this was fucking over the top stupid. He says, I hate Moose, and I am not a hateful person. I don't hate people that much, but man, you crawl under my skin. But I know I crawl under yours. And I'm just going, what the fuck? This is Chris Sabin's promo? This doesn't sound like Chris Sabin at all. He sounds like a fucking dipshit. I'm like, please go and do your business in the ring. Don't talk on a mic. Get a manager to talk for you, because you suck. Really, please just shut the fuck up. But yeah, he says this whole situation between him and Moose is not over. They're gonna go ahead. They're gonna have this battle royal. He's gonna win it, and he's gonna move on to Emergence to face Kenny Omega for the World Heavyweight Championship and walk away world champ. Sure. Right, in your dreams, Chris Sabin. In your dreams. Keep dreaming, buddy. Dream big. Dream big. Anyway, main event, we had the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega go up against Frankie Kazarian, Sami Callihan, and Eddie Edwards. This match was actually a good main event. Out of everything that took place on this show, that was probably the best thing that took place on this show was the main event. The opener was good, but everything else on this show is just not even worth watching. It was just so fucking lame. But yeah, the main event, the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega lose this match. They lost this match, actually. They end up losing this match with... fuck. I just drew a blank here. With Sami Callihan delivering a pile driver on the on the side apron of the ring, the hardest part of the ring, and Kenny Omega looked like he might have been injured possibly. He couldn't feel anything in his fingers, which was bad. I don't know if that was just a sell or that was real. but I don't think it was real. I think it was a sell, just selling an injury and what have you. And I'm sure he's fine because he did appear on AEW Dynamite. These shows are all pre-taped and everything. So this might have happened like a week or two ago, before August 5th. So, I mean, with all that standing, I mean, more than likely he's okay. I don't see that he would be hurt in any way. But, yeah, he got hit with that. One of the Good Brothers, I think it was Carl Anderson, who took the Boston Knee Party by Eddie Edwards. And both Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan worked as a unit in this ending portion of the match. And they pulled off a really good ending to this match. Very good teamwork and everything else. Frankie Kazarian kind of was all over the place. He did his own thing, what he had to do with the Elite. Didn't exactly cut into the heart of the Elite, but I think Sami Callihan did. He kind of did. If you don't believe me, you should check the ending of the match, because Don Callis was checking on Kenny and feeling his fingers to see if he had any feeling in his hands. And he didn't seem like he did. At least that's what I was assuming based on what I saw. But yeah, that was pretty much the ending of the show. But overall, guys, this show is not all that great. I mean, if you missed it, you didn't miss much of anything. They're lucky I even did this review, but I know I told you guys I'd do a review every week on Impact Wrestling on Tuesdays, so here it is. Hope you enjoyed. I know I didn't, but reviewing it for you guys and telling you guys how I felt about it definitely made me feel good, and it was very therapeutic for me to unload all this frustration I was watching, because it felt like I was almost watching a Monday Night Raw episode, but not quite. Thank God. Anyway, guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great night, guys. Bye.